Alright guys, so today is going to be a Christmas CHING video. I plan on trying to do 3 of these. As of right now, I definitely have enough for 2. So this is going to be the first one. Hope you guys are excited for this. Every single thing within this CHING is going to be Christmas related to some degree, basically. So we're just going to get right into it. So the first thing that I have is a star shower. This is one of those lights that you aim at your house and it puts like you could do different images and colors and things like that. I had picked this up at a yard sale. It was brand new, still in the box. I think I paid $5 for it, and that did sell for $29.99. Next item I have is an old plastic. It was a sleigh with reindeer. It was by Allied USA was the name on it. I can't remember exactly where I picked this up. It might have been a yard sale. It might have been at an auction on like a tray lot of other things. Anyway, it did sell for $12.99. This next item did come from an auction. These were 2 wooden toy soldiers. They were quite large and they were marked J. Fenster. They ended up selling for $29.99. Next item was a Hallmark Christmas ornament. At one point I had gone to an auction and there was an entire Christmas room. If you watched all my videos and you've seen that, this was the day that I went to that, where it was just an entire room filled with Christmas stuff. I won so much stuff that day, Christmas related. A lot of it was Hallmark ornaments, and the Hallmark ornaments, like some of them do sell really well. So these were kind of like Santa's from around the world type of thing that Hallmark had come out with. And this particular one was the Canadian Santa Claus. That sold for $25.99. This next item was by Max, and it was a Carrolltown piece. Eric and I picked up a couple of these buildings at a yard sale this past summer. I think we paid like $5 for each one. This one was called Matt's Cycle Shop. So it was like a little motorcycle shop for your Christmas village, basically. And that sold for $39.99. This next item did go to a subscriber named Megan. It was a Mickey Mouse like blown glass Christmas ornament. I do think I picked that up at a yard sale and that sold for $8.99. Next we have a Kurt Adler Christmas ornament. This person purchased 2. I had more than one of these available, and these were like candy striped girls. They kind of look like showgirls, that type of thing. So they purchased 2 of them. I purchased these for $1 a piece, so I had $2 into these, and they sold for $59.98 since they purchased 2. Next item we have is a vintage set of Sears Christmas ornaments. These were actually made in West Germany, but put out by Sears. There was a set of 4 of them. They were really pretty large bulbs with indents. I think as far as vintage Christmas bulbs go, people really like the ornaments that have the indents in them. That seems to be really popular. Anyway, these sold for $49.99, and I got them at a yard sale, and I'm pretty sure I paid $1 for the box. Next we have, this item came from an auction. It was one of those things that just was put with other things that I won that day, so I didn't even necessarily want it. But it was a German green glass, like hand-blown glass, like tree topper basically. That sold for $19.99. Okay, so this next item is really cool, just because I have a little bit of a story behind it. This is another Kurt Adler ornament. These ornaments were actually designed by someone named Van Craig. he, the designer, Van Craig himself, has purchased ornaments from me that he created, basically. He said that he likes to buy them to give as gifts to, you know, his friends and family. And he actually just messaged me not that long ago asking me if I had any more, because there was a store in my hometown that closed down. Like, it's been at least 10 years or so it's been closed now, and they had just, it was one of those places that you go when you're younger and it's so magical at Christmas time and that kind of thing, because they always had this whole room full of Christmas items. And anyway, the store closed down, and little did I know that the man that bought the store out, like all of the rest of the inventory, is actually an auctioneer. And he's had this whole entire store inventory in trailers on his property for like the past 10 years. So he's been slowly getting it out and having yard sales basically in his pole barn of all of this store inventory that came from this store. So it's been sitting on a trailer for 10 years, plus it's already older items to begin with, kind of thing. So when Van Craig messaged me and asked if I had any more, I told him, like, I knew that this man was going to be having another sale soon, and if he had any more of these particular ornaments, that I would let him know. Now, unfortunately, the sale came back around, but no more of these particular ornaments came about. So I don't know if he actually has any more or not. But as of now, I think I purchased all of the inventory that he had that was by, you know, created by Van Craig. So it's just so awesome that, you know, I was able to give him personally some of his ornaments back to him that he created. So this was a Santa Claus ornament, and you guys, I have told this story once before when he purchased something from me, and the story behind this Santa Claus in particular was, he said that the stores stopped carrying it because it was too risque, that the nose on the Santa resembled a penis, if you will. So I just thought it was so funny. I don't necessarily see that when I look at the ornament, but I just thought it was funny that he, you know, let me know like a little bit of a story behind that particular ornament. So he purchased the Santa Claus ornament for $29.99. So I just thought I'd share a little story about that with you guys. Next we have, this was an old, it's by Conner Brothers. It was a push button Santa puppet. So when you press down on his base, he kind of like moved around all funny and wacky. I think I picked this up at a Fill-A-Bag rummage sale, and it sold for $9.99. This next item I got at a yard sale. It was an Anna Lee baby Jesus in his manger. I think I paid about $5 for that at a yard sale, and it sold for $35.99. I also sold another Kurt Adler ornament. This was of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer that sold for $9.99. This next item was a Redware Santa tray. I picked this up at a yard sale. I think I paid maybe about $4 for it, and that sold for $31. Next item did come from an auction. It was a Yankee Candle tart warmer of Santa Claus by a fireplace mantle. That sold for $39.99. Next we have a Snowman ornament. I picked this up at a yard sale. I think I paid about $1 for him, and he just had this fun, kind of whimsical, primitive look to him, so I just grabbed him, and he did sell for $19.99. Next item was a vintage jewelry piece. I did get this at a church yard sale. I can't remember if this was during like a rummage sale or if I actually just paid $1 for it. But it was this little plastic reindeer pin, and he had a lenticular eyeball, so when you moved it, it looked like he was winking at you. I sold this to someone, and I remember they messaged me and they were so happy because I guess at one point in their lives they had that same exact pin, and you know, they just wanted to purchase it back for the memories that it held, and they were so happy with it, and I'm so happy that they were happy with it. Anyway, that did sell for $19.99. Here is another Kurt Adler ornament that was designed by Van Craig. This one was, again, one of the, what I called the candy striped girls, because they had like a candy stripe look to them. That sold for $29.99. Then we also have another one. This one was of Mrs. Claus, and that sold again also for $29.99. This item was a ornament by a company called House of Lloyd. It was a little doll looking ornament, very kind of like Victorian-esque. I did get that at a yard sale, and I probably paid 50 cents to $1 for it, and it sold for $19.99. I also sold a Crabtree and Evelyn. These were called Simmering Pearls in the scent Noel. So basically you just burned these, I think, like a scented oil, like they would melt down like an oil type of thing. I got those at a yard sale, and I think I paid $1 for them, and that sold for $19.99. I also, at the same sale, I purchased the Crabtree and Evelyn Simmer Pearls. I got this Claire Burke Simmer Oil as well. This was in the scent Sugared Delight. I feel like I paid maybe $3 to $4 for it. I did pay, I think, a little bit more for that one, and that sold for $25.99. I sold a Squishmallow. This one was of Logan the Nutcracker. Definitely picked him up at a yard sale, I believe, and I probably paid $1 for him, and he sold for $14.99. Next, I have a Bath & Body Works 3-wick candle holder. I got this at a yard sale. I think I paid $1 or $2 for it. It was just a metal one with glittery accents. It had Santa on a sleigh with some snow-covered trees and things of that nature. That sold for $12.99. I also got this winking wooden Santa. It was signed by someone named Linda Horn. She's the one who created it. I purchased this, I won it at an auction. I think it was the same, at the same point I won those Toy Soldier wooden figures that you saw earlier in the video, and this one sold for $29.99. Next, I have another jar of those Crabtree and Evelyn Simmer Pearls in the scent Noel. At that yard sale, there were 2 jars, and I took both of them, and they both sold. So this one also sold for $19.99. Next, I have a Christopher Radco ornament set. Eric found this at a yard sale. We purchased 2 of them. I still have one listed, but this one went pretty fast. This one was called Midnight Magic. So it was a Christmas themed stand that held the Christopher Radco ornament. So you could just display the ornament on the stand as it was, or you could take the ornament off and, you know, put it on a tree or what have you. That one sold for $49.99. Next, we have a Hamilton Collection Christmas plate. Eric picked these up at Goodwill. This was a while back. We had these for a while, but they are finally starting to sell, I guess, because, you know, Christmas is coming. We don't normally pick up like the collector's plates just because a lot of them don't sell well. I think we paid like 99 cents for each plate, and this one sold for $14.99. We also have another Carrolltown Lemax Village piece. This one was called the Jones School. Again, paid $5 for that, and it sold for $69.99. We also have another Carrolltown Lemax Village piece. This one was called Swinging Free. Again, I think some of the, like the smaller Limax pieces might have been a little less than 5. They might have been 3 or 4. But again, it was from the same sale. We purchased like a whole bunch of these Carrolltown Village pieces. This one sold for $35.99. Next item I have is that cat nativity set. Eric and I purchased this at it's kind of like an indoor yard sale type of place. In the grand scheme of things, I probably paid $3 or $4 for the entire set. It didn't really have like a name brand, but it's one of those things that's so specific, like with cats, and it's a nativity set, and nativity sets sell. Like, you know, it doesn't seem like it matters completely what nativity set you have. I just feel like they always just tend to sell. So this one sold for $49.99. Next we have a set of Jewel Light Santa Christmas lights. Picked these up at a yard sale. These were so pretty. They sat for a while. It did take a while for these to sell, which kind of surprised me because I thought that they were so cool looking. But they did end up going for $29.99. All right, next item we have is a Willy Ray Studios Christmas figure. This one was called Stocking Up for Christmas. Eric and I won this at an auction. I forget exactly what we paid for it. I believe it was less than $20, and that sold for $59.99. This next item was a vintage blue angel figure. We got this at an auction. It was from 1968 by a company called Foursome. This was in a tray lot of stuff we won at the auction. I think we paid, I want to say $4 for the tray, and she sold for $29.99. Next item I picked up at, I believe I got this at a Fill-A-Bag rummage sale. It was a vintage, no, yes, it was at a rummage sale. It was a vintage Glade plugins gingerbread man. This was from like, I want to say the 90s. It was a Glade plug-in shaped like a gingerbread man, and then it had like an apple cinnamon refill in it. That sold for $19.99, and I think I paid $1 for it. Okay, we got another Carrolltown Limax Village piece. This one was called Boys versus Girls, and it was like a tug, they were doing like a tug of war. So probably paid about $5 or less for that, and that sold for $39.99. Next item did go to a subscriber named Denise. This also came from an auction. Eric and I won these, I think it was 2 of these like folk art looking pieces by a company called American Chestnut. This one was called A Little Magic Will Help This One Fly, and that sold for $59.99. Next item I got not too long ago. This was a Nora Fleming tea light candle holder, and it had a snowman piece on the end. Picked that up at a yard sale. I'm pretty sure paid 50 cents for that, and it sold for $69.99. And then the last thing that I have for this Christmas cha-ching was a lot of 17 Hershey's chocolate ornaments by Kurt Adler. Eric and I won a big tray of these at an auction. Not for a whole lot. I can't remember exactly what we paid. I think we still have a couple more Hershey's ornaments left, but this lot of, no, did I say 17? I meant to say 7. Sorry guys, can't even read my own handwriting. That was a times 7, not a 1-7, Michelle. Anyway, that sold for $19.99. So that is everything for this Christmas cha-ching. Like I said, I should have at least one more, maybe 2, just depending. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. You'll have to let me know what you thought down in the comments, how Christmas sales are doing for you. Have you noticed you know, a very large uptick in selling Christmas items? I definitely feel like I have. I love to sell Christmas. I'll sell it year round. But I definitely feel like a lot of Christmas items were going out this year. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time.